So we just changed the wastegate controller, and I got the XTOOL scan tool hooked up to do a force output test to this guy right there. So you know what, let's see if it works. Ooh. Look at that shaft move. I'm replacing that because the old one wouldn't even do that. It was seized completely. And of course, with any scan tool operation, always have your maintainer hooked up. You want to have good source voltage no matter what kind of tests you're doing. Very good. So, how's your day going, guys? Well, following procedure, we had a bad wastegate actuator for the turbo. This mofo right here was seized. I disconnected a rod and I couldn't even move it. Failed the self-test. So now, according to procedure and this vehicle, we had to replace it. So we did replace it, and it passed the self-test, so it's moving. It passed the calibration to where it moves, and I have to read the values, and I have to adjust that rod right there. So I go on my maiden voyage thinking I'm all set. Well, I still got no boost. No boost whatsoever. That turbo ain't blowing nothing, giggity. So I scan it, do a full GFF scan of it, perform the test plan, and it had me run through the whole sweep of that rod going back and forth, and all the values are right where it should be. So the only other thing that it could be, F my life, guys. Oh, this car needs a turbocharger. It needs a new Nagasaki turbine. Freaking great. Well, the customer's not going to be happy, but I followed procedure. We had one Gugat's part, and sure enough, we got two Gugat's parts. Freaking wonderful. Well, here we are, halfway into the repair. Got to get the old turbo out, drain the coolant, took the air box out, loosened up the exhaust so it's not attached anymore. As you could see, it just pretty much fell off. Brand new actuator is good, but here's the issue. You hear that? Our turbo wastegate flap is flapping in the wind. So all the turbo, all the boost that should be getting fed into the engine is just getting bypassed. Lovely. My life. So I just want to show you guys that this line here, even though it has a bolt holding it, it is a biatch to get out. As you can see, I bent it a little bit. So what you got to do is you got to get in there with a pry bar, spray some PB, wiggle, wiggle, and pry, wiggle, wiggle, and pry, wiggle, wiggle, and pry, and it comes out. I fought it. I'm not gonna lie, I fought it. And there's one on the other side of the turbo that I got to get to, but I think once I have the turbo out, I could get that line out of where it is on the bench. But we'll see. Day's not going good, so it can only get worse from here. Well, now we have the turbo out. We replaced all the O-rings here, 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 and right here. We will be replacing the exhaust gasket that goes right here. Here is the old turbo. We're going to have to transfer over this line. O-rings have been replaced. Now here's the new one. Oh yeah, the Nagasaki turbine. Gonna have to install a coolant line, take all these caps off. Make sure the turbo actually moves. Always check the shaft to see if it moves. Giggity. And we're gonna go through the install. Alright then. So guys, here's the failure. See this wastegate flat? A lot of play. Look at that. That's a lot of play in that. And what that does, it's causing this not to seal against that. Let's look at the movement of the new one. Barely any movement. There's some play, as there should be, but it's within tolerance. But it's nowhere near as sloppy as this one. Yeah, there you go. Nice and sloppy. Then we go to this one. Just enough slop to be within tolerance. And this rod here is already adjusted, as you can see with the blue paint mark. Very good. So now we got the brand new Turbski installed, pushing all them horsepurs. Had to bring it back in because all the hot bolt paste started to smoke a little bit more, so we're just going to let it run in the shop for a little bit until it's done smoking. But yeah, before it wouldn't get out of its own way. Now customer better be careful. This car is pretty damn responsive right now with a brand new Turby in there. Freaking awesome. Alright guys, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for further content.